Welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome here to the eve of El Clásico. It is coming up tomorrow, a massive game between Barcelona and Real Madrid. And you know that in every single Clásico, the decisions that the managers take, they're vital. Every single decision is under massive scrutiny. And in today's video, we are going to be breaking down the tactics behind both sides of this story. How is this massive clash of the Titans going to come to a crescendo? We are going to be looking at all that and more in today's video. Let's do this. But first, we will start with Barcelona, and the official squad list has already been released. Valverde has faced the media. He said about the Clásico, he's got massive expectations for this game and no real surprises with his squad. All of the big names included. Obviously, Lionel Messi not available for this one, but Valverde very coy on his team selection. He was asked basically whether he'd already decided about his team. He said, yes, I know my lineup, but I'm not going to share it yet. I'm not going to tell you anything more than that, but all I can say is I know what I'm going to do, and we can all hope that that move is the right thing and that he knows what it takes to beat Real Madrid. Because as of right now, guys, this is the way that I see it. I think 10 out of those 11 players are basically nailed on starters. We know pretty much who is going to be starting this game. Obviously, it's going to be Ter Stegen. Obviously, it's going to be Jordi Alba. We've not got a lot of choice at centre-back. Longley and Piqué have been much improved in recent games. Then I think Roberto will remain at right-back. Busquets in midfield. Arthur's been brilliant. Rakitic is always a starter under Valverde. Coutinho and Suarez leading the line. But it's all about this position here. Who is going to take up that right midfield role? Somebody I think it's going to be who can contribute in both attack and defence. I don't think that it's going to be Ousmane Dembele, but I'm not sure. Valverde might spring a surprise. It might be Rafinha. He might play exactly the same team that he did in the week against Inter. Or it might be an even bigger shock. Maybe he would go with Roberto in midfield, and maybe then you would see Semedo at right back really to counter that Marcelo side there for Real Madrid. But like I say, it's all about that right wing position. That is the big talking point here. The rest of the team, I think, is pretty set in stone. And now for me, the only other thing Ernesto Valverde could do, it would be a shock to see it, but I wouldn't completely rule it out. And it would all revolve around this man here, Arturo Vidal. Could he be included in this massive Clásico game? And the reason I say that is because he's kind of cut out for this kind of game. A lot of aggression, a lot of intensity. It's a massive game, very high pressured. And this is a very experienced midfield player. Somebody who's been there in a lot of leagues, a lot of countries, really in the big moments. He can perform and he can give a good performance. Now, the only thing would be, how do you get him into this team? He came on against Inter, he played really well, he had a good cameo display, and he is knocking on the door right now for Valverde for a starting place. But this is the only way, really, you could do it. And it would simply be about packing that midfield area, really flooding the midfield with all kinds of quality and all kinds of different players, which could give us the perfect balance. You look at it here with Arthur and Busquets in midfield. Now, these two would give you that element of control, they'd give you that sort of passing accuracy, they could break the lines, they could do so much here, controlling and dictating the tempo from deep. These two are your creative midfield players and also your tempo setters. Then you've got Vidal, then you've got Rakitic, two players who you like to call them workhorses, but it's more than that. They're more technical than that. They can get about the pitch, they can work hard, they can get box to box, but they can also play. You know, they can pass the ball, they can move, they can be involved in goals. You saw Vidal and Rakitic combining for Alba's goal against Inter in the week. And then you've got Coutinho and Suarez, and it would sort of be a little bit of a relationship up there. Suarez playing as the very main striker and Coutinho just slotting in behind him. And because you had so many players in that midfield, so much defensive cover here, you could probably allow Coutinho there to have a free role, to simply operate in behind Suarez, picking up loose balls, creating, running in behind, getting shots away, and there you also have a very solid base in that midfield where you could definitely gain that control. Now, speaking of surprises, guys, this would be a surprise to me, but again, I wouldn't completely rule it out. And of course, Ousmane Dembele is the man that we're going to discuss. A man that has been discussed now for many months, I would say. Even since he's joined, there's been a lot of, speculation about him when he got injured, when he came back, what he's been doing well, what he doesn't. In the Spanish media, they seem obsessed right now with Ousmane Dembele in one way or another. But I think this is a game for him which could be make or break. El Clásico is a game, especially for young players, especially for new players at clubs, it can really make you. And I think think a game like this, if your coach gives you the confidence, if he does decide to go bold, Valverde, if he does want to go on the attack, play Dembele. Play Dembele and say, look, this is your chance. This is your opportunity to win over all of these fans at the Camp Nou, to win over all of the squad, all of the management. This is your opportunity to say, look, this is why they paid the big money for me. I am Dembele and I'm here to stay. Silence those critics. Go out there and do it. Now, if Valverde wants to play him, and there's no doubt about it, these players are going to have to work. If you're going to set up here with only 3 in midfield, they're going to need help at certain points in the game. You're going to have Coutinho working hard. You're going to have Dembele working hard. And that's the thing. He's going to have to buy in to the club philosophy. He's going to have to buy in to what Valverde wants him to do. If he's going to do it, he's going to need to work hard, work for the team, and really put that maximum effort in. He's got to go out there and give every single bit that's in his body, and he's got to leave it all out there. He has got to go in 100% here. If Valverde gives him that chance, if he does go bold, Dembele, please, please, please take the opportunity and deliver. We know you can do it. And now it is time to talk Real Madrid. What are they going to do in this game? What are we going to be up against? It's going to be Courtois in goal. I think this is sort of the lineup that's been rumoured in the Spanish media. There's different sorts of setups and different sorts of formations, but in terms of personnel, this is very, very likely to be what we face on Sunday at the Camp Nou. Marcelo is going to be recovered. He's going to be fine to play at left back. Ramos and Varane at centre back, and Nacho is going to fill in that right back position instead of the injured Dani Carvajal, and most likely picked over new signing Odriozola, probably because of more experience. Casemiro is going to be holding Kroos, Modric, and then you've got Isco, Benzema and Bale. Now, I don't think it's going to be really a setup like that. On paper, you might look at it like a 4-3-3, but I think really this is going to merge into more of a 4-4-2. You're going to get Isco here dropping in midfield and trying to make that a 4, because Real Madrid and Lopetegui, they really do want control of that midfield. They want control of the ball, and Isco is going to help them do that. He is going to be by far their key man, dropping in between the lines. He's going to have almost a free role to go between the front 3 and join the midfield, and we have got to watch out for that. We have got to have somebody like Sergio Roberto sticking tight to him, making sure that we don't let him go. But I also think they're going to a 4-4-2 simply because going back to when Zinedine Zidane was in charge of Real Madrid, that was sort of his setup. He would go 4-4-2, a flat 4-4-2, and basically just let the players express themselves. I think since Lopetegui's come in, he's maybe tried to complicate things a bit too much, and I think right now player power will take over. Lopetegui's days are numbered. These players in there, the big leaders, Ramos, Marcelo, players like that, they're going to say, look, just let us go out there and do what we do best. They've got a good record at the Camp Nou. They will be confident coming into this game. They always believe that they can beat Barcelona, and I think they will revert to what they know, to what they like working with, and we will see a 4-4-2 with Benzema and Bale relied upon to get them the goals and flooding that midfield to try to get some control. And I think when you look at it like this, the setups of both teams could actually be very, very similar and almost mirror images of each other, simply because you've got Benzema here who's going to be leading the line another time for Real Madrid, and the same goes for Luis Suarez, and then around him you've got Bale dropping off, you've got Isco going in their support. I think Rafinha is most likely to start on this right hand side, followed up by Coutinho, and then you've got those midfield trios. It's simply going to be a match of who's going to come out on top in that midfield battle. You've got Busquets in here, Casemiro holding, Arthur, Rakitic against Kroos and Modric. Now it's going to be really, really interesting to see how Arthur does in this Clásico. He's been so good against some really big teams. Tottenham at Wembley, Inter on Wednesday. It's a massive, massive game here, and I think they're going to target him. I really do. I think Modric is going to press him. I think Casemiro is going to come out and really get in his face. They're going to try and press the new boy, thinking that he might buckle under the pressure, but I actually think Arthur could be the massive, massive link in this game. If he can evade Modric, if he can get around Casemiro, if he can avoid being pressed, we could be away in that midfield, and it could be the difference between winning and losing that midfield battle. And now I've taken some players away here, guys, just because I really want to highlight a particular area of this pitch where the game really, for me, could be won and lost, and it all comes down to those wider areas. We're going to start over here on the left-hand side, and it all comes down to Marcelo. He's a massive inclusion for Real Madrid, and I actually think their attacking play is so highly based around him, it's incredible. From this left-back slot. He can really get up and down. He can link up with Isco, and we need somebody on that right-hand side who is going to be able to track him. It could be number 12 against number 12 here. Rafinha could be included simply because of Marcelo, because he can work back with him. He will stay with him when we need to, because Roberto is going to need support. But you've also got to think about it the other way. When Marcelo bombs on and loses it, we win the ball back with Roberto perhaps. We play through midfield then into Rakitic. Suddenly now, Rafinha has got to hold that width. And the reason for that is we need to do everything possible to get Ramos here dragged out here. We need Ramos to be, you know what he's like. He'll jump into a challenge. He loves going out. He loves getting in people's faces. He won't be able to resist going out there, closing down the space, which will do the incredible thing of allowing Suarez a bit of room here. Varane will close him down, but Suarez in Clásicos has got so much confidence. He has got really, really good form in Clásicos coming into this one. And if you can get Ramos away from him by exposing that space left behind by Marcelo, Suarez and Coutinho as well can do some damage. I really, really believe that. And it's not only the left-hand side of Real Madrid where I feel we can make some real progress. It's also the right-hand side, and that's all because of Nacho Fernandez. I think as a right-back, obviously he's coming in for the injured Dani Carvajal. Maybe Odriozola will play, but I think most likely they'll play safe and go with Nacho. And for me, he's very, very limited as a right-back. I watched him for Spain when they played England, when of course England beat Spain, and on that day he was playing at centre-half, and he got absolutely torn to shreds by England. And I think here we need to target him, and particularly through the man in form, Jordi Alba. He needs to really make sure as often as possible he is getting up on the overlap with Coutinho on a 2-on-1 situation and really putting the pressure on him. I think obviously Jordi Alba has got him for pace in behind every single time. Nacho won't be able to get near him. And the big question as well, if Bale is playing here on this right-hand side, maybe on the left, we don't know where Bale's going to start his position, but if he is playing here, is he going to work back? Is he actually going to come back and help Nacho out? Because I'm not sure Bale's that kind of player anymore. I'm not sure that he works for the team like he used to do at maybe Tottenham. He doesn't do that anymore. And Alba, if they don't come back and support Nacho, he has got him all day long, every day of the week down this left-hand side. So overall, guys, when you're looking at this game as a whole, obviously individual quality can decide Clásicos, but mainly it's going to be about these wider areas, who can really come out on top in the full-back department, who is going to win that kind of battle. Both ways, there's a lot of opportunities for both teams getting forward and defensively, who is going to hold up. But it's all about this midfield. It's going to be about this midfield battle. Arthur, Busquets, Rakitic in here, they have got to take that Real Madrid midfield. They have got to really go at them, win that battle, get that control, because once you've got it, then you can use the ball, then you can really dictate the game, and suddenly we're playing on our own terms. Busquets has got to sit in here, make sure that we're creating passing lanes, and the best thing about this now is, if we're stuck, if we're in a situation where we can't get out, Arthur is going to be the man, just like I showed you a few days ago. He's going to come and get the ball, he's going to want the ball, he's going to receive it, and when he does that, we have so many more options. It's going to be about that midfield, and with Arthur in there, alongside Busquets, Rakitic can also perform in Clásicos. We've seen that in the past. I think we can win that battle, and therefore win this game. So that was basically my thoughts on how this game is going to turn out from a tactical point of view. But of course, there is still the match preview to come, guys. That will be coming up very, very shortly after this video. As soon as I can possibly do it, I will get it up for you. I am so hyped ahead of this Clásico. I really do believe, I've got a good feeling here that we can go into this game and not only win, but put on a good display at the Camp Nou in front of our own fans. We really, really need that. 2015, the last time that we won at home. Our time is now. Leave your thoughts down below, guys. What do you think of this game head to head? Where is it going to be won and lost for you? Let me know those thoughts in the comments down below. And like I say, I will see you very soon indeed. But until then, as always, Visca el Barça. Barça, Barça.